Hi good people, David Taub here, and we're going to learn another chord. You're doing great so far, you're learning some chords, we're working on our strumming, attacking those three goals, and we're going to be playing chord changes and songs very soon. You'll be amazed how fast. Okay, the next chord I want to spend a little time on because through my experiences as a teacher, sometimes students can struggle with this one a little bit. It's going to take a little extra time, but I want to give you some pointers to make it as easy as possible. The chord is A major, okay? We're just playing A. Remember, when there's nothing after the name of a chord, major is implied. A would be A major. D would be D major. In order for it to be minor, it would have to have the little m. D with a little m, D minor. E with a little m, E minor, right? Okay, so A major. So you can go to the chord library, pull up A major and really take an in-depth study on that. And I recommend to do that, but I also want to give you a little bit extra help and show you a couple different tricks on the A major. Here's what A major is going to sound like when you get it. I'm going to zoom the camera in a second. Okay? 5 string, you do not play the low E string. Nice chord. Remember major from our lesson on the color of chords, right? Very happy, very bright sounding. I'm happy! I'm happy! I'm a happy guitar teacher today, playing major chords. Okay, so let's get into the thick of it here, and I could show you nice and tight this A major chord. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. Now remember what we said in previous modules. You always, when you're fretting notes, you always want to kind of be up right behind the fret. Like if I'm fretting this B note here, I'm not going to do it back here on the 2nd fret. You want to be up behind the fret, nice and tight, fingers cupped, wrist down. No matter where note, here's a G note, but I'm not going to be back here because I want to be on the 3rd fret. This is the 3rd fret. Fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. If I want to play a G note, see, I'm not playing it back here. That is true. However, sometimes with some chords, you're going to have to jam multiple fingers within the same fret. And in that instance, you're going to have your fingers back a little bit. This is one of them. So again, and we're going to get into when we start talking about muting strings with our thumb to keep those open strings from ringing that we don't want. Again, you kind of, with guitar, every now and then you got to break the rules a little bit to get the job done, right? Okay. So here's what an A major is going to look like. I'm going to show you a couple different ways. You're going to use finger 1, finger 2, and finger 3. I'm going to pull my pinky just out of the picture so you could see better, okay? So, you finger it like this. All 3 fingers go in the 2nd fret. See, you got to jam them all in there. Your first finger is going to be at the 2nd fret on the D string, playing this E note. That's right here. Then your 2nd finger, or middle finger, is going to be on the G string, playing, that's an A note. Then your 3rd finger is going to be on the C sharp, 2nd fret on the B string, right there. But the trick is you got to get all 3 of them in this 1 fret range. See, it's all in the 2nd fret. So you have this much space to get all 3 fingers in there. Could be a challenge, especially if your fingers are a little thicker. Okay, now you also play the open A string in this chord. Open A. And the E string, the low E, you do not play. That gets muted. We'll talk about how to do that later, but you're not going to play that string. You're just playing these 5. And open E, high E string. Okay, so here's the chord again. 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. Now your pinky, again, should be tucked in tight. I'm going to take it out of there just so you can see this chord a little bit better. And there's a good shot of A major, okay? Notice my 3 fingers are within the 2nd fret. In this instance, look, I have to have my finger back a little bit further and not here because I got 3 fingers. I can't have them all up tight, like that's impossible. So this is an instance where you're going to have to, where you have multiple fingers in the same fret where they're going to be back. But for the most part, you're always going to be up tight on the fret. Okay, now here's what this chord should sound like if we play it 1 note at a time. There's a real good look at it right there. I'm going to put my pinky back just so you see the proper technique. Pinky hitching a ride on that third finger. And here's what this chord should sound like. Do not play the low E string. Okay, every chord, every note ringing true. No low E string. Okay, and there's a good look at that chord. Alright, now, that might take a little while. Don't get discouraged because that's a little tricky doing 3 fingers in a 1 fret range. Okay? Let me show you another way of playing that. I want you to try it like this and see if you can get it. Okay? Let me give you another look at that. There you go. Now if you're having, I'm going to show you the classical way or classical guitar way of playing an A chord, which some of my students like a little better. You could do either. I personally like this way because it makes it easy when we go soon to suspended chords or minor 7th chords or whatever. Minor 7 will be here off the A minor. But I like using this style. Another way that my students like to do it is they switch the first finger and the second finger like this. They play it like that. See what I just did? Okay? I moved my first finger down a string and my second finger up a string. For some people, this voicing or this way of clustering your fingers just seems to work a little better. And you get the same chord. See, all 3 fingers are still within that 2nd fret. But it's fingered a little bit differently. Okay, here's another shot of that. As opposed to this, the way that I do it. Or most people seem to play the A like this. But if this other way is more comfortable, it's actually going to be easy to get to some other chords this way. You could do it like that. Here's another look at that. Okay, I'm zooming out. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to look at the video chord library on A major, and I want you to practice that. Get that down, arpeggiate the notes one at a time to get all the notes to ring true. Fall 5. Happy! What you don't want is this. Dead string, right off the bat, the open A, because my first finger is hitting it. So I got to move that finger down a little bit, press down hard. Oops. Second, dead string. Oh, I'm not pressing down hard enough. There we go. Uh-oh. High E string. Dead. What's going on? If I look, my third finger is hitting it. See? You got to get all these chords to ring true so they sound melodious, beautificious. Not a word. Beautiful. There you go. Okay, so getting A major down, and we're going to start working with that chord with some chord changes and continue on with your practice routines. Stay positive. The A might take a little longer. Some of these chords you're going to get in a snap. Others to take a little bit more work, but you can do it. Stay positive and remember what I said. You'll be practicing it. It won't sound right. You'll move the fingers a little bit, and you keep monkeying with it and pecking away. And then one morning you wake up, bam, you got it. You have what I call guitar epiphanies all the time, and then it's in your pocket, and you'll be able to play A major all the time. All right. We'll see you in the next module. Rock on.